Hey guys, I'm going to do a few more examples of area of triangles. You'll see one is dealing with decimals, and we have another example dealing with fractions, or in this case mixed numbers. So first off, let's talk about the formula of a triangle. It's no different than a parallelogram or a rectangle. It's just base times height times 1/2. Or another way I'd like to talk about or refer to area of triangle is simply take the base times height, if I can write that correctly, and divide it by 2. So base times height divided by 2 means the same thing. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the base for number 1, for example number 1, which is 1.2, and we're going to times it by the height, which is 0.6. Multiply it. So there's one decimal here, one decimal movement here, so that means you're going to add 1 plus 1 is 2. So 1, 2. So we're not done yet. We still have to divide that by 2. Right? We've got to find half of that. Main reason why is because remember, a triangle is half of a rectangle. So we want to divide this by 2. So I take 0.72. Divided by 2, and I should get 0.36. And so that's going to be the answer to the area of that triangle, 0.36 meters squared. So this is what we're looking for. Okay. For number 2, number 2 is a little difficult because we have mixed numbers. So what we need to do is we need to figure out exactly how do we multiply these two mixed numbers. We've got base and height here, and then we got to divide that by 2. So there's 2 ways that you can do it. One way is you can convert these to decimals. This also could be 4.5. And this as a decimal would be 2.6 repeating. Okay, and then you can multiply those two together, divide by 2, and you get your answer. The only issue is you won't quite get to the answer you're looking for. It'd be close, but it won't be accurate because the 6 repeats. 2/3 is not. It's a repeating decimal, so you're not going to be able to find an exact answer. It's going to be close though. So another way I'd like to do it is let's just deal with the fractions. Change into improper fractions. So we take 4.5. Remember, multiply your denominator times your whole number plus your numerator. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So this actually equals 9 over 2. And then 2 2/3 has an improper fraction. Remember, multiply the denominator times the whole number, then add the numerator. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So it's 8 over 3. And so what we're going to do is, I'm going to follow, instead of multiplying those two together and then dividing by 2, I'm actually going to use this formula right here. 1/2 times base times height. So 1/2 times base times height. And you can just multiply straight across. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 times 8 is 72. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And if you want to change this back to a mixed number, and in this case, 12 will actually go to 72 evenly 6 times. So this is actually 6. So the answer is going to be 6 feet squared. So that would be your answer. Now you could have, if you wanted to, if you recall from last time, we would cross simplify. So 3 and 9 have something in common. You could divide 3 into 9 3 times, into itself once. 2 can go into 8 4 times. It can go into itself once. And then you could end up with 3 times 4 is 12. 12 over 2. 12 over 2 would be 6. You would get the same answer. You could simplify a little bit more if you wanted to. 2 and 4, you could actually simplify this more further. 2 can go into 4 2 times into itself once. So then you end up with 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 6 over 1 is 6. So it doesn't matter if you do it the longer way or the shorter way, you're still going to come up with the same answer. Okay, so again, my encouragement to you is just change, or my direction or encouragement, either way, however you see it. Take those mixed numbers, change them to improper fractions, and multiply, plug them into your formula, and just multiply straight across. If you take a look at number 3, let me see, I'm going to move the camera just a little bit here. All right. If you look at number 3, sometimes they're going to give you one of the dimensions. They won't give you both. They won't give you the base or the height, or either one or the other. But they'll give you the area. So what I would do in this situation is, remember the area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay, and a lot of times we refer it to as 1/2 base times height. Okay, but that's what we're doing, is multiplying 1/2 times base times height, or base times height divided by 2. So because we have 2 decimals, it's best just to take what we have and plug in what we know to find out what we don't know. So area is 0.225, right? We've got 1/2 here, that stays the same. The base is 0.6, but we don't know the height. Okay, that's what we need to figure out. If you recall, a few weeks ago, we've talked about one-step equations. This is a one-step equation, okay? If you recall the intern helping us solve for h, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and solve this here. Then you're going to divide both sides by whatever you're multiplying by h. So here's what we're going to do. Is we're going to multiply. So we can change this to a decimal, which is 0.5. 1/2 is 0.5. Times that by 0.6. Let's do that first. And then whatever that answer is going to be, we're going to divide that into 0.225 to find out our height. So we're going to multiply those two together. That's going to end up being 0.30. So we got 0.30 times the height equals 0.225. Then what you're going to do is you're going to divide, because remember we want to know what h is, the height, right? We want it by itself. We want to know what the height equals to. So in order to go from here to here, we have to get rid of that 0.30. And the only way to do that is to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of multiplying by 0.30? Is dividing by 0.30. So we're going to divide both sides by 0.30. Now remember, we're not just dividing this side, but we're also dividing the other side. The reason why is because this is an equation. In an equation, you want to keep it balanced because of these equal signs. These equal signs help us maintain balance. Okay? So that's why we're dividing both sides by the same number. So let's take 0.30 and divide it into 0.225. So we do that. Okay, if you recall, you can't divide by decimal, so you have to change that, move it over 2 places to the right. And you have to move this 2 places to the right as well. So you're going to have 30 into 22.5 now. Okay. 30 can't go into 22, but it can go into 225. It's going to go in 7 times. I'm going to add a 0, bring it down. Sorry, I'm running out of space here. Then 30 can go into 250. I believe, oh, I messed up here. This is a 1. My bad, 150. 30 can go to 150 5 times. And that'll cancel it out, so that's going to be our answer. So 0.75 is going to be our height. So 0.75 miles is our height. And that's what you're going to put up here. And if you ever want to check it to make sure you got it correct, and I don't usually encourage 6th graders to use the calculator, but if you want to use the calculator, check it. Simply just go to Unit's calculator and multiply them. So 0.6 times 0.75 equals, and then divide that by 2, because it's 1/2, right? And we end up with our answer. So that's how you check it. Alright? Hopefully that helps, guys. I know it's a lot. This is not typical. Typically we talk about areas of triangles. We deal with whole numbers. Maybe a decimal or two, but nothing to this extreme. So this is something, it's a little abnormal, but it's still something that we should be able to do. Okay? It's just going to take us some time. So take some practice, work on it, work on your homework. I think those 3 examples will help you. And for some reason you still don't understand, please shoot me an email. I'd be happy to maybe shoot you another example or two. Maybe post another video on YouTube, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out. Other than that, I'll catch you on Zoom or in the next video. God bless. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.